I was one of those people that used to talk about living on a houseboat in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness. I spent years talking about it. I daydreamed about it. I would Google different boats that I would fix up. I would draw on paper everything that I would do if I would make a build or ever get the chance to build a houseboat. In 2019, I bought my first liverboard boat. I was pretty much afraid to even drive it. Over the next 2 years, I learned how to sail by joining racing teams. I watched everything that everyone did during the races, and then over the next 4 or 5 days, I would practice on my own sailboat. I finally got to the point where I was comfortable in Lake Michigan, solo sailing a 10,000 pound 50-year-old boat. I also finally got it to the point where I could live on it. I started my dream of living on the boat in 2021. I sold all my house and all my possessions on land. I had very little left at that point. Now, part of living on a sailboat in Wisconsin is that winters hit and you can't live on that boat. That's the story that you're seeing here. That's the reason why I built this houseboat. 6 months out of the year, I would come down to Tennessee and I would spend winters. I needed a vessel to do that on. I got a campsite in Kentucky and I built this boat in 12 days. There was nothing in it. There was just a mattress and some doors and the windows. So I moved aboard it and I set out to live on this boat full time on the Tennessee River. Every single week I did a different project to add something that I needed to it. And as I went through living on it, I figured out what I did need and what I didn't need, and I added the necessities. After a couple of years of living at the marinas, I decided the marina was holding me back. I wanted to actually live my entire life outside in the wilderness, not tied to a dock. So, 2 years ago, in August, I left the marinas behind. I spent 6 months traveling in my sailboat from Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, and Alabama. After that 6 months, winter came again, and I jumped back to the houseboat like I always did. Now here's the question, and here's the problem. I never left the houseboat. I've been on it for 2 years, and I've never been back to a marina ever since. This houseboat has been permanently boondocked, moving every 14 days, all over the Tennessee River. I've seen floods. I've seen storms. I've seen tornadoes. I've seen snowstorms. I've seen frozen waters. All of it impresses me. It doesn't make me fearful. It doesn't make me want to go home. It doesn't make me want to get out of the water. All it does is make me intrigued in this life. Nothing's boring here. Nothing gets old here. It's precious. It's peaceful. It's a way of life that I wish more people would understand. It seems like it's almost lost, forgotten to time. Different people feel like it's illegal. Different people feel like they just could never live out here. Some people just look at the water and say it's muddy, I could never come out here. To those people I say, I'm sorry that you don't understand. There's a little child in every one of us that wants to grow up and do the things that they wanted to do. And I gotta tell you, I'm doing them. I've been daydreaming about this for years, and now I'm living it. And I feel at home and at peace. That little ray of reflection on the water at night when the moon is glancing off of the water, that's called moonshine. I named my boat after that. I knew I was going to have a boat named Moonshine from when I was a child. We used to run back and forth on our pontoon boat in the middle of the night and chase that little glimmer of light along the water. We'd say, run along the moonshine, drive along the moonshine. And we'd look for our own reflection in it. I knew I would be here. I knew I would be here when I was 15 years old. I'm 47 years old now. And I'm sitting on top of a body of work that has taken me 7 years to create. 7 years I've been documenting what I've been doing, what I've learned, when I learned it, who taught it to me, how much it cost. And I put it in a film every single Sunday. Over the 10 years that we've been doing this, I've actually gotten to be where I'm a pretty good photographer. I started to be a pretty good narrator. Videography, someone actually taking a film that's in focus and presenting it to people. Over the years, I've had so many people give me feedback, and I've taken so much of it. A lot of times it's frustrating, but I like to improve on what I'm doing. I like people watching what I'm doing. All I want is for you to just get a little tiny piece of the fun that I'm having out here, the exploration.
Pack yourself a toothbrush, dear. Pack yourself a favorite blouse. Take a withdrawal slip. Take all of your savings out. 'Cause if we don't leave this town, we might never make it out. I was not born to drown.
I always feel like I'm messing up someone's hunt, but it's nowhere near duck season or any bird season. I always feel like they put more effort into making their duck blinds than I did my entire houseboat. Like that one looks like it's metal. Yeah, it is. It's metal. Oh, you can look at, you can dock your boat, your duck boat right underneath there and get into it. Do you guys see the beast of a snake here? Looks to me like a baby cottonmouth. Yeah, look at its head, you can tell. And it's, you know, within its first 2 years of life, it's not small. Cottonmouths typically only get to be about 3 feet, 3.5 feet. However, I just saw one this morning that was a little more than 4 feet, so it happens. And then I'm going to wave my arms right now. Make a bunch of motion. See? He doesn't care about me at all. But he'll pop my boat if I get too close. You'll bite my boat and put a hole in it, won't you? Yeah, he's a good snake. Just doing his thing, looking for food. I don't think enough people notice this or look at this. River and I are running to the park this evening to do his little hangout and frisbee this evening. This is the opposite side of the river where the sun is going down. That's what it looks like behind me. And I shot a good shot of it a second ago. Right there, yeah. That looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. But look at this. It looks like the coloring in the trees, you can see the wood for once because it's taken a complete red. You can see the ground, the mud on the ground is taking a complete red hue from the sun. It's lit up so perfectly. And this is the main river, by the way. For people who come out here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and just see it when it's all torn up and brown and ugly from people riding their boats back and forth. This is what it looks like on Thursday, before everyone comes out here and makes it all wavy and mucky and muddy. It looks, look at, you can see down like 20 feet. No mud, no muck, no soot going through it. And then the reflection, because it's perfectly calm, is amazing. I wish more people could come out here during the week, because a lot of people really only come out, let's say, every Saturday for like 4 months out of the year, and all they do is they catch a bunch of wake and muddy, mucky water because so many people are out here. We can't plane because we have too much water in the boat. I have to like get up here with river. It took that long to get up on plane. It was just such a bad storm. Hey. Water's getting low. We're dragging on some mud. We gotta get out of here probably tomorrow. Or, I mean, unless the water comes up overnight. We'll see. I used to put a post-it note over the little clock on the corner of my computer screen when I was at work. It hurt when I thought a couple hours went by and I went and I looked and it was only like 7 minutes. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't look at the clock. I would sit there and actually think to myself, I wish time would go faster. The one and only thing that I have in life is minutes and seconds, and there was a time in my life where I wished it would go faster. I don't remember the last time I looked at a clock, but man, I'm glad I don't look at them anymore. Sun comes up right over there. That's how I know the day starts. It gets dark and I can't read a book anymore. That's how I know the day ends. All the rest is just...
You got your ball, you got your chain, tied to me tight, tie me up again. Who's got their claws? And you, my friend. Into your heart I'll beat again. Sweet like candy to my soul, sweet you rock and sweet you roll. Lost for you, I'm so lost for you.
There's a school of little fish swimming underwater towards us. See that? Now they jumped underwater. It's pretty cool. There's a couple of them around here. Right in the center right there. We moved back to the beach because the temperature changed, dropped down around 80s during the day with very little sun, so we are sitting on the sandy beach enjoying perfect weather. I mean, this weather does not get any better than this right here. Look at this fool. And look at this tiny island. I've come to it a couple of times, but when it's this small, it's actually too muddy. Look at that. That's enough room for River to get out. And that's 3 trees that he could pee on. But it is just mud. Like when you walk on it, you sink right in. But when it drops down about another foot, it's harder to get back here. But the top will be solid and the beach will be muddy. So when you run a board to it, it's really not that bad. The problem. You have a beach right here. We don't. Look at. There's a beach right there, dude. So we came back to this beach on Monday because the water levels dropped and it kind of got us where we had to get out of that backwater cut through. It got too shallow. And when we came out of there, we were actually scraping through mud. So it got to where it was less than 8 inches, 8 or 9 inches. And as we've been here, the sun, I mean, we're gonna go find shade, basically. There's that nice shady cut through spot that I always go to when there's storms. We went there yesterday and hung out with my buddy Jimmy, who is a catfisherman. And it was shady and nice and cool, even though it was burning hot here. So we're gonna move over there. We're gonna stay there for a couple weeks. It'll be great. I also really like this beach at a certain time of year because these all start to come to be ripe. Persimmon. If you eat a persimmon when it's not ripe, it tastes horrible. But if you eat it when it's ripe, it's like a kind of like a peach mixed with an orange, maybe. What are you doing this morning? Little girl. What are you up to? You want to jump up here? Come here. Cricket. Yeah. That, in short, is the relationship that every owner has with their cat. I'm finding it really hard to leave here, but the moment it gets hot, which is going to be like within the hour, probably 10 o'clock, so probably 2 hours, I'll be mad that I didn't leave and keep my boat in the shade. So he cut almost all of his power when he went by me. Look at this. A fishing boat has bigger waves than that. And you know, every once in a while I'll see a boat captain. It could be a huge yacht that's using its trim to go all the way down and to make their boat like this rather than this. They're wasting fuel, but they're dropping their wave or wake size from 4 foot down to 2 foot, and they'll do it. You'll notice them do it as they're coming down the river. They'll go like this, and these barge guys do the same thing, where they're basically, before he came to me, the wake was going huge out of the back of his boat, and about 400 feet before it, he cut all the power, and then he's going to kick it back up once I'm gone. It's pretty cool. We're now south. Going down south. Tell me your opinion about this. When I talk to friends of mine that have cabins on the river with a dock that goes out and they can launch their boats, they say that they live on the river. And when I tell them, no, you don't live on the river, you live next to the river, I live on the river because I live on a houseboat on the river. They say to me, no, you live in the river, we live on the river, you live in the river. So when I am describing my living situation, what more accurately represents what's happening in my life here? Living in the river or living on the river? I believe if I say to someone, I live in the river, they will think to themselves, what is he talking about? And put together the fact that I live in a boat. If I say I live on the river, they're automatically going to assume I have a cabin or a property next to the river. What do you think? So if you look real close, that orange buoy right there, that's Jimmy Lindsay's catfish line, and that's where it ends, but it starts 600 feet on the other side of the river, and it goes up and down. It has anchors and floats going like this along the bottom 5 feet of the river, and there is, I want to say 300 hooks on it, but I'm not sure. I'll check. And he runs 10 of those lines 3 days a week, and he makes a living doing that. Now that I'm getting closer, I kind of think that that boatway over there is Jimmy Lindsay running the next line across the river. Now, if you've ever seen me and Jimmy go out and make videos, he has an air compressor running on his tank. On this day, all of his he caught so many catfish that his tank is full. Look at that. That's a 45-pound catfish right there. His tank is full, and that red cooler is full. And he's still got 2 more lines to check. So he called me and said, dude, I need to borrow your cooler. I loaned him my little igloo cooler right there. We got 3 bags of ice in there, and he's going to go get the rest of his fish. Well, Jimmy, that's a dang good day.
I sure do appreciate you bringing that cooler now.
So I've been doing this for the last week or so, and it's really been working out. When I take River to go to the beach near where I have the sailboat parked, I drop off this to charge in the sailboat, because I don't pay for electricity at the marina. My dock doesn't have a meter. And then later on tonight, I mean, you know, it takes between 90 minutes and 3 hours to fully charge, depending on what it's at. And then you can bring it back to the houseboat and it'll run the air conditioner for the evening, or for the hot part of the next day if it's the daytime that you need to run the air conditioner, and then you don't need to run the generator at all. So River and I are going over to this beach across the way from the marina, and we're going to drop it off at my sailboat and just plug it in. I think I brought the cord. Yeah, okay. And then we'll pick it up later tonight when, around dinner time. Then tomorrow and the next day, if we want to run the air conditioner or run the fans off of it, we can without ever running the generator. It's kind of perfect. I think the worst part here is going to be keeping River on getting the dinghy, not on the sailboat. He might have to jump onto the sailboat for a second. We'll see. It says it'll be charged in 3 hours. Now we're going to the beach. So my dock includes electricity, includes water, includes free laundry, and then there's a bathhouse and a bathroom up there. Shower, bathhouse, bathroom up there. And to store this on land is more than it is here. It's $105 a month for me, mainly because I've been here for 5 years or 6 years now.